Welcome to Tangled Fandom, where this week the tour continues. Join us as we untangle the Naruto Symphonic experience. Let's get started.
All right, so let's get started. Now, Reggie, before we dive too deep into it, I want to set the stage about what is this experience exactly and what were your initial expectations or initial thoughts?
I would love to. I would love to tell you. So, the Naruto Symphonic experience is Naruto meets the orchestra. It is a abridged retelling of the first Naruto series, accompanied by an orchestra. So, they are playing the background music, they are playing theme songs, they are playing the dramatic music from different scenes. And before we went, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, we had the opportunity to go to a couple of shows like this before, and we went to see Nightmare Before Christmas, doing the accompanying with the movie. But seeing it from the standpoint of like an anime, it was an exciting experience. What about you? What were you thinking before we got started?
I was excited for it. It was not only the music piece, and I'm a music buff. I love music, like orchestra. I love that. But then to also be able to watch the film or scenes from the show alongside it, I think it kind of just merged two of our kind of nerdy interests, our Tangled fandoms, if you would say,
Agreed.
if one would say. So I was just excited and really ready for the experience, whatever that would look like, honestly.
Yeah, and before we got in there, like you see the people dressed up, like just wearing a Naruto shirt was not enough. Okay,
Yeah.
I felt underdressed, to be honest with you, and you had people in full Akatsuki gear, like it was like a Akatsuki meetup for some people. You know, you had people that had the full like armored jacket, like it was all and. They were, I mean, the merch table was nice too. They were camping out around the merch table. But like, if you are looking for an experience where you're gonna find your people, and your people being, if you're a Naruto fan, finding other Naruto fans that probably care about it just as much as you, like just before you even get in there, you already feel those vibes.
Yeah, I think it was like an opportunity to kind of cosplay a little bit if you wanted to.
For sure.
You could definitely have gone there, or you could have just showed up in just a tee and, ready to enjoy the evening. And the great thing is that we saw a range of all of those things. So
Agreed.
it was cool. But I think that added to the experience because it really got you excited and got you in the mood to be like, oh, look at that cosplay of Kakashi, or oh, look at that cosplay of Rock Lee. Like it was cool.
It did give mini con vibes,
Yeah.
and like that is like a mini plug. If you haven't seen our Indiana Comic Con video, go back and look at that because you get some of that same energy just being in that space and being around just people who just loving things and sharing what they love with other people.
Yeah. So tell us about like what happened. Like once we got seated, tell us about the show.
Okay, so several things, right? So you get in there and you find your seat, and you hear like the band, the orchestra, like warming up, and you hear them like playing music, and then it just goes right into the story. And well, not right into the story. It has two hosts, and one of them is ToastyMarshmellow. So shout out to her. And that was actually figuring that out was one of my like favorite moments of the show, because I was just like, wait a minute, is that ToastyMarshmellow? So like, if you don't follow her on Instagram, follow ToastyMarshmellow on Instagram. She's really cool people. We had the opportunity to meet her. That is a spoiler alert, but the point is like. It starts out with the two hosts kind of explaining what the show is going to be. They don't tell you to just sit and listen to it. And in fact, they tell you to get really immersed in the experience, which did happen. There were cheering, there were jeering, there were people making out-of-pocket comments about different
poor
scenes.
Sakura.
Sakura did get the consistent treatment that I've experience across the fandom. And like seriously, so they're playing the scenes, and it starts out from the very beginning of Naruto, so you get all the classic songs. You get to see the main character in the series, the swing, as I call it, the main character. And like it was a really cool, like I said, abridged retelling of the series. Now, I'm not gonna spoil everything, because I really do think if you have an opportunity to go see it, it's still on tour. Go see it.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those experiences that's gonna leave you wanting more.
What did you think about the scenes that were chosen and the pacing of the show?
The pacing was pretty cool. Like, I would love to see someone do a Naruto abridged series, other than like the recut or the rebuild of Naruto. If you know, and be able to tell the story with the pace that we saw, at the experience. It was quick. I feel like it hit all the
Well,
key plot points. It got through the bridge building arc in about 2 to 3 minutes. So I was like, oh, Erica probably loved that. So I think that it's really a cool experience, like a cool way to experience the show again.
yeah. Well, when you say quick, what I reacted to was that it was 3 hours. Like it was a 3 hour show, so it really wasn't all that quick. But when you think about the amount of stuff, like the amount of footage and
Yeah.
like
Yes.
content that they had to work with, they condensed it down. But it was like a 3 hour experience. So manage your expectations there if you get into
It
this.
was worth it though. It was worth it. I'm just saying, like the bridge building arc is like 25 episodes on its own. So you talking about 3 hours, like 3 hours, and you get the whole series. I think that was worth the money, truthfully.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think that it was cool because we got to see every like important piece
Yes.
of the story
Yes.
throughout that first half, because
I
it
agree.
didn't go into Shippuden, but that first half you got to see all of the important experiences, and then it also showcased the characters that were like some fan favorites that they got shown some love too.
They did.
So yes, there were absolutely Sasuke and Naruto like highlights throughout the show, but there were also some of your other favorites sprinkled in there that you got to know a little bit about. So I think that was a nice touch, because I think that allowed other fans to like lean in and cheer for the people that they loved. I'm a Shikamaru fan, like that's my guy. So being able to see him, I think, was really cool. And then just some other characters along the way.
I agree. I'm going to add. So we actually went to see it with a coworker of mine, and they knew nothing about Naruto. In fact, they are One Piece fans. What I've learned, but they really didn't get into Naruto. And I think leaving and having a conversation afterwards, they really enjoyed. Like they felt like, oh, okay, I get the story, I get the appeal. And they got to see it in like a unique way. Like I've said multiple times in conversation with other people, like I wish I could rewatch some things for the first time. So being able to see them experience that in like that way was a really cool experience. So if you have friends who aren't into Naruto or aren't into anime, this is not one of those experiences that you could invite them to. Shout out again to sharing, like our previous video with sharing experiences, your interests with others. Like this is a experience I think that bridges, as Erica said earlier in our conversation, different fandoms and the music piece, but also the nerdy anime piece, and bringing them together in a space that could be like very approachable.
Yep. And to that point, there were lots of families there,
Yes, there
so
were.
we saw younger kids there. We saw older adults coming with their young adult children, So I thought that was nice that you saw multi-generational audience.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks to the appeal of Naruto, and then
Agreed.
just to the fact that you share your fandoms with the people that you love. So
Agreed.
that was cool.
Agreed.
So now that we've kind of talked about like the anime portion of it, let's talk about the orchestra. Like, what was your experience like watching the orchestra?
The orchestra and the hosts were awesome. Like, if you imagine doing anime karaoke, like it was definitely like the highest form of that. The hosts, I felt like they were doing all the whoo and like singing and like they were singing the lyrics and it went. Oh, and fun fact, it was subbed. So, you actually were watching Naruto in its the original way. So they were singing the songs in the original lyrics, and like the orchestra was killing it. They didn't, I don't feel like they missed a beat. I feel like if you were watching an episode, you wouldn't have been able to like tell the difference. I mean, obviously I feel like the musicality was definitely there a little bit more because it was like the full sound, and it was very immersive, but like they killed it to me. They did a great job. I felt like I was just like, yeah, these individuals have definitely practiced and rehearsed to make sure that they did this music justice.
I agree. I think that they were also having fun. Not
Yes.
only were they great at their craft, they were great at their art, but they were having fun. Like you would see them kind of like saying some of the lyrics, or you would see them like clapping along and trying to get the crowd
They were cheering,
involved,
yeah.
like cheering involved. So I thought that was amazing. I think that added life to like the stage, because yes, you were watching the show, but you could also watch the musicians and how that they were leaning into the moment and enjoying themselves along the way. So that was cool.
The experience was a love letter to the series and also a love letter to Naruto fans.
Yeah.
So I honestly, I'd recommend it 9 times out of 10, and that one time is because I couldn't see Shippuden too.
Yeah,
So
we would have been there all night
would
though.
have been there all night. I would have. Oh, let me take a break. Got me some more popcorn, and we came right back. So
Yeah. Well, I think that that's all. Is there anything else that you want to share? Like any recommendations, final thoughts, things that people should know if they want to enjoy this experience themselves?
no, come. I'll say this. Come with an open mind. If you've never been to one of those like show or movie and music experiences, they are awesome. I wish I had gotten to go to the Cowboy Bebop one because that would have been like epic because that's all the jazz and all that. So if you get an opportunity to go to these type of shows or experiences, like take full advantage of them.
Support the arts.
Support the arts because this is an opportunity for you again to tangle your fandoms. So like if you are on the fence and you have the ticket sitting in your cart, go ahead and hit pay, check out, and just let us know in the comments if you have been to this show or you've been to other shows like it, or if you have some recommendations for shows we should catch that are on tour ourselves, because we will go on tour if you haven't realized that. So y'all, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. As always, we just want to make sure that you know that we are here. So drop a like, drop a comment, let's subscribe, like just hit us up because we love hearing from you. And shout out to our followers that are subscribers rather that are commenting. Keep it up, please.
Yes, and if you're still watching this video right now, we want to know that you're a part of the End of the Video Club. So put a leaf down in the comments.
Yes.
Put a leaf down in the comments if you're still watching now.
Yes.
Then we'll know that you're one of the real ones. So
yes,
that's all I've got for you all. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time,
keep embracing the fandoms that you love, and we'll see you
real
soon.
soon.
When I go, you run with me. You go,